Before you can monitor and evaluate a patient, you must have a diagnosis, you must have made a diagnosis, you must have discovered a problem with that patient. If you did not see any problem at the first consultation, if you did not find any problem on that patient, if there is no diagnosis you made on that patient, it means there is no need for monitoring and evaluation. That is the same reason why nutrition assessment and nutrition monitoring and evaluation have the same domain. Because it is what you see in nutrition assessment that you will monitor under nutrition monitoring and evaluation. The only difference is that there is no client history. So the only thing is that client history, which is not in nutrition monitoring and evaluation. So monitor and evaluate a patient. You must know the meaning of monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring simply means going to the ward from time to time to review the patient and know if this patient is making progress. Also to know whether you are achieving your intervention goals. That is monitoring. Evaluation is evaluating the results you get during monitoring with the previous review or with standard. I repeat, evaluation means evaluating the result or the progress the patient is making with the standard or with previous findings. That is evaluation. This evaluation has no definite format for reporting it. Having understood what evaluation is, you can put your own grammar the way you want it to be. The only thing you have to bear in mind is that the progress this patient recorded wasn't only on that very day you visited the patient. This progress was recorded right from the date of your previous visit to the date of your present visit. So when you are reporting, you note it. And when you are making your overall presentation, please try to report it. So when you get to the ward, you have known where your patient folder is. Move straight and get the patient folder. Read through the folder of that patient. Always read through the patient folder before moving to see the patient to know if there is any new development. After reading through the patient folder, move to the patient bedside. Address the patient by his or her name. He will respond and you start your reassessment. For you to monitor this patient, you have to reassess. Those assessments that you did previously, you have to repeat them. Why repeating them? Is for you to know if there is progress, just like as I have told you, to know if there is progress the patient is making. For instance, in the issue of anthropometry, previously, the patient weight was 16 kg, but in this your review, the patient weight is now 16.5 kg, meaning that the patient is improving, or the patient weight has moved from 16 kg to 16.5 kg. The patient is improving. That is evaluation. If you are monitoring the MWAC, you still make reference to that. The MWAC has increased from 11.5 cm to 12 cm. After the anthropometry is biochemical data. Check if there is any new test that this patient has done, but you haven't assessed it. And as well, check the previous tests with the recent ones and compare them. For instance, the patient LBS previously was 210 mg per day, but today in your visit, the patient LBS is now 150 mg per day. Patient LBS is coming down, or patient LBS is normalizing. That is evaluation. After your biochemical data, you move down to nutrition-focused physical findings. Those things that you noticed previously, are they still prominent or are they resolving? For instance, if there was edema previously, is the edema now regressing or not? That is evaluation. If there was dermatosis previously, is the dermatosis now resolving or not? After nutrition-focused physical findings, you move down to food or nutrition-related history. Repeat the same assessment that you made previously, that is reassessment. Those things that the patient was doing then, is he or she still doing them? If this patient eats excessively, is he still eating excessively? If this patient doesn't drink up to his water intake per day, can he or she now take up to his water intake per day? If this patient is a smoker or a drunkard, his perception concerning this smoking and drinking, has it changed from negative to positive? If this patient's knowledge in nutrition and management of his illness was deficit in your previous assessment, has it improved? Just watch for those problems you discovered during your first assessment and you repeat them to know if there is improvement. After this, assess this patient on your nutrition interventions to know if this patient is really adhering to nutrition counseling and management, and you evaluate it. For instance, patient is adhering to nutrition counseling and management, or patient is not strictly adhering to nutrition counseling and management. Sometimes, during your assessment, you may discover a new nutrition diagnosis. Pick it up. During your documentation, you put it and put the intervention. When you are done with the reassessment, you go and document in the patient folder. If you are using a new sheet to document, write the patient's name in that new sheet and patient folder number. Remember to write the date of your visit and the time of your visit. After this, write the heading: Medical Nutrition Therapy Review. Patient seen. Make a brief introduction of the patient's present medical history. For instance, a 60-year-old woman being managed for type 2 diabetes mellitus with complication of foot ulcer. After this, if there is any complaint that this patient gave to you during your assessment, you put it. After the complaint, you move to nutrition monitoring and evaluation. Start from anthropometry. You put your findings under anthropometry and you evaluate as I told you. After the anthropometry, you move to biochemical data. You put your findings under biochemical data and evaluate them. After your biochemical data, you go to nutrition focused physical findings. Put your findings under it and evaluate them. After nutrition focused physical findings, you move to nutrition related history. Put down your findings under nutrition related history and evaluate them. After this, if there is any new diagnosis that you discovered during this reassessment, you put it down. Then the next is your nutrition interventions. Put your interventions. After your interventions, you put your surname and your title, RDN. Thank you.